and Wings' idea too of going to America first to boot camp instead of just staying in China. Like all of these things keep getting updated over and over again.
Yeah.
Like I know Crow looked at Wings, it's like, oh, they boot camped in America. Well, we should do the same. We'll boot camp in America. We'll have our last land in America, so everyone's adjusted to the time zone.
Yeah, that's so important, I think.
Yeah. All these things, we keep updating our understanding of professional Dota. Like 4 years ago, there were 0 coaches.
Yeah.
There were actually 0, and now guys like Bulba, Mad on OG, 71 on Moneski.
EG won with a coach, SVG.
Exactly.
Like, what did EG do? They had a coach. Okay, we got to get one too.
Yeah, it just keeps, we keep emulating success.
Looking for the perfect formula to win TI.
Yeah.
If only there was such a thing. That would be quite interesting. But let's take a look at the game, because we do have our first semifinals on the way. It is draft time. Newbie on the Radiant side, LGD on the Dire side. First series of bans is almost done. So far, I mean, we can mention things like, okay, there's no Enchantress ban or something like that, but I don't think that matters when, like, I feel like we're seeing gonna see an entirely different meta between these two teams.
People have been saying Enchantress is not so popular on the Chinese scene.
Yeah.
It's more of a Western sort of pick at the moment, but the bans so far make perfect sense. You banned Disruptor Sand King's like Newbie's go-to opener. Bane has been, although you said the other day he hasn't won many, obviously teams don't like playing against him.
Yeah, it's not really Bane's fault.
Exactly. We've seen a lot of Naga Siren, we've seen a lot of Omni Knight, SF, you want to get him out of the pool. We've seen a lot of Tiny, but they've gone Omni Razor first too for Newbie. These have been heroes that have been banned in a lot of the games that we've watched so far. Like all these heroes that we've seen here have all been picked or banned in almost every game of this tournament, I'd say.
Do you take Rubik or Brew here?
On LGD?
Yeah, those are the most commonly accepted counters to Omni Knight.
What counters Rubik, would you say? Like, what would you say, we'll pick the Rubik, but it's a gamble because? It doesn't seem like he's got so much utility, it doesn't feel like that's ever a problem, is it?
He's not a damage dealer.
But he's like, he can push waves.
Yeah, he's got a good team fight, but they take Witch Doctor, so neither of them.
He's been big though. He's been big in the Star Ladder so far in this season. We've seen a lot of him. I think he's done really well. I'd love to know what his win rate is.
Witch Doctor?
Yeah, on Witch
This
Doctor.
tournament?
My phone doesn't work, Sheeps, but if you can see
Mine has some blips that it does work, so I'm gonna hope that
Best
I'm
of luck
gonna
to
find
you.
the blip. Thank you. We'll need it. What type of Dota are we expected to be played here, by the way? Are we gonna have some aggression going on, or is this gonna be split push farming, team fight? What are we looking at here?
So far, these look like solid lanes. I mean, Naga Siren gives you disengage. You can set things up as well. I don't know if they're going to look for something to combo with Disruptor out of the pool. They're going to try and set something up with the Naga Siren, but I'm not sure what that could be at the moment. But so far, I mean, Razor, Omni, that's like solid, really solid in lane.
Yeah. The funny part is, like, this was the opener at the last Star Ladder.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this was like when in the beginning of the season, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, this is straight up broken. When I saw this at Perfect Worlds, it was like people were just opening straight up. They're like, Razor Omni.
Wow.
Do something about it. And
yeah, it's scary. I mean, both of them very hard to kill. Like you said, I think you said yesterday on the panel, Razor is hard to kill or doesn't die in fights, and it's true. I mean, he seems to have been there or thereabouts. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's got a win rate above 50 in the tournament so far.
Witch Doctor has 9 games played, a 66 or 67% win rate.
That's good. So 6 out of 9, that's strong. What
9.
about Razor?
Razor is not that popular, as you would imagine. He has got 4 games played only. I feel like we've seen him banned a lot.
He has been banned a lot. Yeah.
Two games out of those 1.
All right. It is hard to call. Like, the weird thing is you almost want to be able to say, all right, how many times is this combo Omni Razor? I don't feel like I've seen it yet.
So I know that there's probably a way to figure that out, but I don't know how.
Yeah, there'll be a way.
Yeah.
We need a statsman.
We do. Next season.
If you're a statsman out there, make an app.
Omni Knight, regardless of without whichever combo it is, has been played 4 times, only won 1.
Wow.
Not great for him. All right, so we got some Terrorblade PL removed.
Yeah, PL and TB. We saw PL become a real pain. Earlier on in the tournament, he was getting picked but not getting there. But lately, he's sort of been doing it a bit more.
Yeah, and LGD has been removing some SCCC heroes.
Yeah,
we saw
OD
him on
for
OD
sure.
earlier.
I wonder if they'll ban Lycan, or if maybe LGD want to try and take Lycan. We've seen Naga Lycan is kind of a combo you don't really want to play against, but Newbie have got a lot of strength with the Razor Omni. No catch yet. Both kind of quite steady openers, I'd say.
Indeed, indeed. They're taking their time, though, taking into their bonus time
Yeah.
for this ban. The first pick after this ban phase is, of course, going the way of newbie, so they gotta keep that in mind. If they want to try and save something for themselves, they end up banning out the Tusk.
I mean, neither of these drafts are giving too much away, Will, are they? Like, neither of them is saying this is what we're doing, other than we want to win our lanes and just be hard to kill.
Yeah, I think you take Slardar Sand King here, some kind of catch. I think Omni Razor,
Sand
though.
King's banned, unfortunately.
Yep.
Oh.
By the way, Sand King, you know, I
First
have
phase.
the win rates and stuff on. Sand King is the second most picked hero, or rather shared first place with Disruptor. 11 games played, 27% win rate.
He's been picked by teams that have lost, I think,
Yeah.
is the problem, rather than him being a problem. There's your Rubik, William.
Big fan of this hero. I think it's one of the most stable supports. It denies a lot of heroes.
You want to know the win
It's
rate?
nice.
Yeah, go on then, hit us.
I mean, now that I'm on the roll, 85% win rate on 7 games played.
Well,
Great hero.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
Ted.
a Lycan.
What
Dude,
a beast.
I called it. It's obvious.
You're a genius.
EG did it. Now everybody does it. I'm sure someone did it before them.
All strategies come from pubs
Pubs?
somewhere.
No.
Somewhere there's always a pro who's like, oh, I saw this in a pub and it worked. Let's try it out.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I do wonder how much in the pub scene, because they all play solo queues, so how much of what they see that they then take into the pro game is just an accident?
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, no, that really worked well. That's kind of weird. Because
I
it's
got
not like
crushed
you
by
could.
this in a pub.
Yeah, it's
Sure,
not
it
like you
can
have
be
the
good.
time to coordinate and plan it because
Yeah.
you got no time to pick in a pub.
A Shanghai Major. So when we were in Zephyr, we played in China servers because it was the best.
Right.
And we kept running into this thing that we affectionately, Ben Merlini Wu affectionately referred to as China Doom,
China Doom.
where these guys would just pick Doom, eat a creep, and then run at you at level 1. And apparently it's just been a thing in China for a really long time. So then when Puppy and them came here to play at the Shanghai Major, they hadn't prepared this before. They ran into this Doom
China
that would just
Doom.
like run at you, and they're like, wow, this thing is...
This is good.
Yeah, this is really sick. Yeah, Theben was telling me that story. He's like, it's actually really good.
Wow.
And then so impromptu, they just decided to do it. And then obviously Liquid played against them in the finals and it was just like, well, what do you do
Wow.
against that?
Easy win.
Yeah.
Rubik, Tide Hunter.
A lot of team fight now inside of newbie as well, but then again, LGD has their own
Someone
fair
has
share.
not signed out of Friends, and someone is about to start playing PUBG.
Uh-oh.
Good to know.
Uh-oh.
I kind of sense a bit of a lack of damage for Newbie, though.
Oh, I like this a
Wow.
lot. Oh,
There's
we've
the
seen
setup.
We've seen him banned,
There's the setup.
but
Even against the
finally.
Rubik, huh?
Yeah, Enigma Rubik, no problems.
Yeah, that is an interesting... Why?
Here's the thing, but they can set it up with the Naga Siren.
Sure, but they're still very confident that they can do that against the Rubik, which is still very tricky.
All he needs to do, Sheeps, to make this work is catch Tide and Rubik in the black hole.
Yeah, but are you hearing
every
what you're
time.
saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Tide
It's
and
just-
Rubik,
That's it. They
they're
can
go-
somehow do it.
They should be, like, Newbie is a veteran team, you know, they should be able to have proper positioning so that doesn't happen.
No.
Now, I do
No, I don't
remember, I
believe
said
you.
this as well, when Newbie was playing against Mineski had one of those also wombo combo lineups, and I didn't think they could do it because that would require Newbie to be out of position, but Mineski did manage to win that specific game,
Well, there you
so
go. Anything is possible.
anything is possible.
I do honestly look at Newbie's team and I do kind of think they don't have a lot of burst damage.
They don't have a lot
they've
of
got
weights
decent
to,
time fight with Ravage, and then Razor's gonna, I guess, go after the Lycan, but he's just gonna run away. I don't know.
So for
I
Newbie,
like LGD's lineup more because of the Lycan, honestly.
I like it more because of the amount of lockdown they have. I mean, Newbie doesn't have that much, and they need another hero. They need probably, I'm thinking we're going to see an SEC Razor needing a hero for
Hey, Lumi.
Mugi.
I-
Maybe
I-
Sven
I
comes
think-
to mind. But
I think LGD so far, I mean, they could run this a few different ways. I assume it's going to be Enigma offlane. But you
Yep.
never know.
talk to us, Will. What are we going to see?
I tell you what, we're not going to see is a black hole that catches Tide and Rubik. I wager that's not going to happen.
But at least they can time it. If there's no Ravage up, then they're
Sure.
the only disabled they have so far is Rubik. What do you think, Will? Talk.
I don't think Newbie has catch.
They have no
Not yet.
catch.
There's the Marana.
And who's hard to catch, Will? Lycan? Mirana?
And they're all hard to catch. So
And then Naga can sing.
like they banned Quap because they realized the same thing. Like we literally we can't catch. Like this is actually a massive problem. And they have 3 cores. So newbie need to take, I don't know, Slardar's kind of mediocre. You could do something cool and do like Silencer because you have so much lane control already. And Silencer's usually like a Garbo
Where's their
hero,
push?
but
Where's their push coming from? If they take Silencer.
you just you repel your Razor and he'll hit.
Come on. You
Doesn't
don't even look
buildings.
convinced by what you're saying.
That'd be cool. Or you do some like support bat or something. I think you'd be pretty greedy right now.
Carry Omni. Get a Radiance real fast and just walk at them. That's the plan.
But it's going to be a KP Tide, a Kaka Omni Knight, or Kaka Rubik.
What a weird draft.
It is an odd
But
draft.
we have said
They'll
that-
go for Medusa as the last one.
I'm sure they'll have time.
So they're gonna switch things.
Yes, the bunny mound. All right.
Support Omni.
Oh my god, I have not seen that mount.
That thing is
that is
glorious.
horrific.
It
What?
is very
That is
sensitive.
horrific.
That thing's amazing.
Are you serious? It's a rabbit. This
It's
is
so
Dota.
cool.
He's riding
Serious
a rabbit.
game.
All right, Will, what does newbie need to do to be successful this game?
They need to be really smart with how they avoid the black hole fights, and then they need to just pump 4 staffs, get a bunch of 4 staffs, and kite with their Dusa.
All right. How about LGD, Ted?
Get the Lycan enormous.
Okay.
Let him take buildings. Stay behind him. If things go wrong, you just sing. If things go really wrong, you may even have to cast Black Hole. Though I don't recommend it.
Okay.
I think they've got a really strong lineup and
Yep.
win before Medusa becomes unkillable.
Okay,
And
well-
even if she does become unkillable, get Lycan to do things.
Well, I just hope there will be some amazing Wombo combos here in this first game of the first semifinals of the day. Let's head over to our commentary team of Lyrical and Luminous.
Thank you so much, Shiver Lumi. Oh my god, there's 1,000,010 heroes that I love in this game. Enigma picked into a Rubik, and yet the panel thinks it's a good pick. They think that it's a good draft. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I feel like Enigma into Rubik is always a dangerous game you're playing. And the one saving grace, I think, is you have the Lycan pick.
Yeah.
So Lycan, in the team fight, he's going to run at the Rubik, get him all like riled up, and then once he's out of the fight, then you could Black Hole. So maybe that's kind of the idea that we have LGD going for.
And, the panel was saying maybe you pick a little bit more greedy. Doesn't get a whole hell of a lot more greedy than a Medusa as a last pick,
Yeah, this
already
is
having
a
3 cores.
Super wonky draft. They move Omni Knight to a position 5, which has really never worked.
Yeah.
Before Omni Knight really splashed onto the kind of competitive scene as a stable pickup, the original question was always, how do we lane him? People have tried him mid, people have tried him carry, people have tried him support, and none of it really work. On the higher farming positions, you feel like it's too much wasted farm going into a hero that doesn't directly translate into damage or building hitting. On some of the lower farm position, you feel like he doesn't get enough to actually contribute in the fights. So position 3 was what worked very well. But now, because of the draft, Faith have to now play on a position 5. And honestly, I don't expect anything from this Omni Knight.
It could be tough. It could be really tough. China semifinal hype. Oh my goodness. The thoughts, the feelings, the emotions. It's all running high here out in China as Kaka's going to make his way over this direction. It is something to sort of talk about a little bit. It's a return to that perfect world Masters meta that we saw before, where they opened with the Omni Knight Razor, and Newbie was doing that a heck of a lot back at that time when they were being really successful. They ended up facing off against Secret in the finals. Obviously, didn't go the way they would have wanted, but nonetheless, it's still one of those situations now where it's a strong opening, and maybe the repel is what they were hoping for, and just giving that onto these big tanky cores.
Yeah. Although it was a strong opening with the intention of Omni offlane, right? So that kind of already shows you that Newbie is not working with what they are used to.
Chalice, as well as FY over in the area, and that is something else to keep our eyes on, that Naga Siren. It's just been a thorn in so many different teams' side. Able to set up for great initiation and then, of course, disengage as well. This Newbie is going to move over and force Ame away from the rune. And they're actually going for a bit of a wraparound there with the Tidehunter. He's just probably going to look to pull. They could level up Gush here, thinking about trying to go for the body blocks. Ame in some trouble, and Kaka into position, able to get the lift. In some
They
trouble.
missed the purification. They should have Gush coming off cooldown again. This should be an easy kill, but they will have to spend another 90 mana to get it.
Yeah, KP drawing first blood. Crowd happy about that one as Newbie is getting ready to aggro up this lane.
Okay, look over to Naga Siren, looking for a courier snipe. Keep an eye on that. This is generally how you win a mid lane. Very easily for your team.
It's not an easy one to get, obviously. Does have that Ironwood branch, Windlace as well for the extra bit of movement speed, and trying to find the vision. It's going to...
Oh, they know.
Oh, really?
Naga's off the map.
All right. It's moving forward. Kaka, they spot him out, and FY now realizing it. They're going to keep that courier alive, I believe.
I'm not even sure whether Naga could actually get that kill. You need 2 hits.
Yeah. Well, a tough one. Up top lane, this is where we're probably going to see more of the action as Maledict already going out. X-Nova taking some harass. How strong is this lane, the Omni Knight and Tidehunter together?
It's not exactly a killing lane until maybe higher levels, but they're not going to get killed. And I think that's kind of the primary goal for this lane.
X-Nova keeps on getting those double Maledicts onto the newbie heroes and forcing them back. The battle over in the jungle is just continuing to go on with the Rubik and Naga Siren battling each other for position. Neither one really getting that much experience, but, well, Kaka trying to make sure that his mid laner has a decent time.
Level 1 Maledict is one of those spells that looks a lot scarier than it actually is, you know?
Yeah.
You see you're purple, you're glowing, and you realize, wait, I'm taking like 10 damage from this. Who cares?
It's not really that big of a concern at all for those heroes. And 2 minutes in, Bounty Rune's going to become available. We haven't really talked about that much, but the Razor down bottom facing off against the Enigma, he's been able to have himself a bit of an okay time. It's a lot of denies on the Enigma. That's a little takeaway there, the Bounty Rune.
Yep. In a straight up 1v1, Enigma actually wins this lane because he's able to deny with his Eidolons and even out-damage Mugi. Normally you don't see Plasma Field leveled up as much anymore. I think this is one matchup that you do want to do it because you do want to kill those Eidolons. Now, Rubik is going to try to rotate around, so it's going to be up to FY to prevent that from happening. Nice pull here by Kaka. This is actually one of the harder pulls to do nowadays,
but
using the telekinesis there. Oh, that was a awkward.
Okay, no problem. Just want that attack speed for the 3 seconds or whatever it is that you get it for. And now KP left alone, gets the anchor smash off, making it a little bit harder to last hit for Ame. Misses a couple there because of it, and, well, easy peasy. Well played is the call. Are they actually going to try and put some pressure on here? They're bringing in 3 heroes from LGD. The wraparound is coming. FY in position, and KP maybe out of position as they get the Maledict onto him. The cask is going to bounce. They throw out a repel, which is going to mitigate the damage that's there, but they might still have enough. The purification chase continues. KP in trouble and going to go down.
That's a very curious juke path that he juked up. I think if he juked south, might have actually lived a little bit longer. Might have survived that.
One of those mind game things that always is a little bit tough to know how it would actually work out. X-Nova gushed. Okay, he's in some trouble. They're going to be able to run him down. The cask, he bounced to the creeps instead. Purification and another right click.
Pretty nice for Newbie to actually pick up that kill even without a point into degen or a Faithful Die here. Repels himself out. Maledict will not do any damage because of the repel, and now
well played there as
FY will survive this, but very good defensive play here by Faith.
Yeah, and he's coming over to make sure he can bully away for that Bounty Rune. So FY, in spite of the fact he doesn't get the kill, still able to get those runes for himself. Well played. Maybe leaps for the rune himself in the mid lane. And so far, Newbie off to a little bit of a lead in this one.
It's not anything too sizable.
It's definitely, I mean, at least as far as the way the tempo of this game is going to go, do you think both teams are just content to farm up? Is there anything you're really worried about as an arrow is going to connect, but Faith is there?
My biggest concern is going to be how maybe we'll do on this Mirana. I feel like Mirana is one of those often very hit or miss hero. You need to have a very strong early game. I think the last time we see Mirana play very successfully in this event was Papita on the mid Mirana. Had a very strong early game where he was killing people nonstop and kind of transitioned to a very strong late game carry. They ended up losing that game, but I felt like the Mirana really paid off. And that's the kind of the path that you want to follow. You want to have a very aggressive killing Mirana And he has a ton of setup this game, primarily coming from the Naga Siren, whether it's an ensnare arrow or a song arrow.
Yeah, that's maybe something that they're picking up as well from Mineski that have been playing it quite well with Nana and jabs. But Mugi underneath the tower, taking a little bit of damage there as LGD are making this rotation. And, well, there's a chance. They don't have Malefice right now. Went for the 2-3-0 build as FY moving into position. They do still have that arrow available. It's a little bit tough to make this work, though, and the net's going to come out. The arrow's going to follow. There's a stun, and there is most likely a kill.
Yep.
Maybe making his presence felt.
And that's exactly what I mean, right? As a Mirana, you don't just sit there and farm mid, because you're not going to outscale compared to the Medusa. You need to affect the map, and that's exactly what he's been doing.
Nice little takeaway there from Kaka. FY trying to punish him for it.
Oh,
they're going to TP in.
Might die here.
Yeah, he's in some trouble. Xnova's going to be able to find the stun. He might just take him on a little walk before he eventually goes down, as the net's going to be there. But the supports with that Riptide, they take down Kaka.
So I know that a lot of the focus when you see Enigma being played into the Rubik's, the fact that, hey, you're going to get your Black Hole still, and you can itemize against the spell seal, right? You could get the Lincolns and you get a BKB. Enigma's one of those off lanes that can get very farmed thanks to his 15% CDR talent, and you get a Midas with that, so you can get some very sick laking items.
It looks like he wants to go for Mechanism this game, though.
Okay, that's a very kind of big deviation from the standard. I was going to say that there's still the ultimate counter of the Naga Sleep.
Right.
Or, sorry, not Naga Sleep, the Medusa Stone Gaze, right? Like, if you're facing Medusa, you're just going to get your Black Hole cancel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's going mech, which is very different from what we're usually seeing.
Stun now onto KP. Lots of damage. Purification there. They throw out the repel after the fact. The root's going to keep him in place. And KP going to fall yet again. This LGD support combo has been incredibly effective at ganking.
Yeah, they're being at the right places at the right time. And I think that's really due to the fact that their cores are really strong with those ganks. We've seen the Mirana really taking advantage of it. Let's not forget that Howl plus Riptide equals a ton of early game damage. And that's how they actually got that kill through the repel and the purification.
Yeah, I mean, Riptide, it's how much minus armor is that one for the Naga Siren? Like 5 or something? I might be crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, it's just level 1, though. Putting 2 points in the neck, actually, it's max level 5, but 8 duration as well.
He's more maxing on the ensnare because of the Mirana.
Got it.
I think normally you do want to put more points into Riptide.
Yeah. Well, 8 minutes in, Faith has been pretty good on the Omni Knight so far. I've been impressed with the support play.
Yeah, the concern generally is what can he do in the mid game, because assuming that he's going to be getting most of the wards, so Rubik could get his Blink Dagger, then it's going to be pretty rough. Plasma Field comes in, wards away all the Eidolons.
Yeah, not easy for him to stand up there. FY only level 3 right now at 8 minutes, wanting to soak up some of this experience as Mirana has made the rotation down towards the bottom rune as well. Just going to give FY some of that free experience while she moves around the map. But so far, not really all that much action in this game. It's been much more just trying to get up towards those levels and assuming that we're going to be seeing some big team fights once those level 6s come online. For a couple of the heroes, at least.
Yep. So I do want to talk about the mechanism on the Enigma, which is generally not what we've seen. I think with that item choice,
we switched it.
No, they switched it back. Okay. So I was gonna say that you don't want to take Medusa to an ultra late game situation. So one way LGD could have played it is to just death ball up early with the Lycan Necrobook with the mech on Enigma and just go for a very relatively early 25-30 minute victory push. But it's very risky, because once that push doesn't work out, then you just straight up lose the game because you have no scaling that's comparable to the Medusa.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he switched back to the Midas, because Enigma can farm insanely well.
SC able to dodge away from the stun, the lift up on the Rubik. It's going to be a nice turnaround stun as well. They get the repel onto the Rubik, but it's not enough to keep him alive, as maybe trying to walk away, and it looks like he might just be able to do that.
He still have 3 leaps available. He's not worried at all.
Yeah. So a pick off on the Rubik, but that was Shapeshift committed.
Yep. I think they really want to do so, but because people ported in, they settle for the Rubik.
KP again in trouble, going to be ran down here, and All the summons, all the everything, they take him down. Was that a Lycan that had taken over the Frost Creep?
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm not sure whether it mattered for that TIE Hunter kill, but it definitely would have helped.
Yeah, that extra little bit of slow is pretty nifty.
I'm sure he would have wanted to save the cooldown for this Siege unit now,
That's fair enough.
but got the kill, so.
Well, 2 to 6, but still it's a Medusa, and as Medusas are wont to do, she is going to get a lot of farm in this one. Stack a third time there for that Ancient, and most likely a third time for this Ancient stack as well. Midas comes out right now, just about 11 minutes for the Enigma, and still haven't seen a black hole yet, as they're going to smoke together and head down bottom.
I think that phrase will be said a lot during this cast, because Black Hole needs to be...
Oh, maybe onto 2 good ones. They're looking for it. Maybe they can go for it. It's a scary thing. Mugi level 10 already. X-Nova there, though. They have more than enough damage, and they will kill off Mugi here.
They're looking for Kaka as well. Not going to find it.
Ame taking a lot of damage. KP, he's thinking about this one. That's too scary. And they'll, in fact, even get the tower. This mid lane, they found FY. SC not able to get any type of damage there. They don't really have that much catch. It was like the panel was talking about.
Yeah, the way that Newbie's going to win this game is off of team fights and off of like defending their high ground. So if LGD is very smart about their fight selection, they should be able to eat kind of incremental leads. The one big thing, though, is they need to have vision on the 2 ancient camps, because I do feel like that's what Newbie's going to spend a majority of their attention at. As I say that, immediately ward.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to get this catch as well onto Kaka. A lot of damage very quickly, and maybe he was waiting there for a while. He knew it was coming. And now you see up top as well, KP sort of messing around a little bit more with Ame. And he will be able to hold that tower for a long time. It's pretty unfortunate when your Lycan's not able to take the tower early.
Mugi might be in a little trouble as well. Mirana even walks back, thinks about the arrow, but sees it teleport in and decides against it.
Yeah. That's the nice part. If they need to, they can just send KP mid and he'll keep that tower alive. But it's Ame who wants to push him back again.
By the way, I love the choice of warding the Ancients, not to block it, but to just have vision over it. But looks like mid, we might see a slight gather up of a push.
There's a lot of vision here for LGD. They spot out everybody, and one cask. It's just going to be a slow chip away here at the tower.
Let's see if they could get a deny here. Nope, easy deny.
Nicely done. KP walking forward, though, has the Ravage if they want to use it, so not easy for LGD to walk in and take that fight.
That was well worth it. They gave away a Naga kill, but they denied the tower against a group of 5 heroes.
Yeah.
I think FY very happy. But going back to that ward I was mentioning at the Ancients, generally you want to not necessarily block their Ancients because they will just deward it and just keep stacking, but you want the vision to challenge the Ancients. Unfortunately, they just lost the Naga, which is their best kind of challenge hero.
They're coming back in right now, though, and they're smoked up as well. Underneath
just
the
got
ward, they
dewarded,
have
though.
Song, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, realize that this is too dangerous to walk in right there.
At the same time, Newbie also realized they can't actually finish this camp.
Lycan is here in the mid lane as well. They're going to spot him out in just a second. Ame in the area. They can pop the Song right now if they wanted to go for it. Kaka's level 6, though. Off to the side, they catch him with the sleep. It's a really great initiation. They've dropped the Black Hole onto 2. It's a great play as well, and they've been able to actually walk in with the third one. Faith wasn't able to get the heal off. LGD just dismantling them at this early stage. The Ravage to turn it, though, and Chalice is going to be punished for this one, it looks like. Does manage to get the Eidolons off. Eventually going to be killed. They take down the Omni Knight as well. Mugi's still living through this. So LGD only end up losing that Enigma, and they might even find... They can't get Mugi. KP's there.
Mugi's way too tanky. X-Nova's going to port out. And you know what? The best critical thing in that engagement was that Enigma even uses Midas before he dies, so no value was lost. He was able to Midas one of the big creeps. And that's generally how you're actually going to get a good Black Hole off in the beginning. You need to Song and set up, and you need to grab the Rubik alongside whoever else you're going to try to grab.
Yeah.
Because if you do, there is actually no cancel, provided that the Enigma isn't facing Medusa.
Right. Well, and you saw there that they didn't have like a ton of damage to throw into it immediately afterwards. But as this game goes on, like that type of a play is just going to be a team wipe next time.
Yeah. FY. Looks like he will get caught here.
Yeah, Kaka to pull him back in. And on the other side, Faith ends up being brought down by Maybe. It's still a stun onto Rubik. They wanted to turn this one. He does have Maledict. Is able to throw that onto FY, but now with the ulti used, that's a dead Rubik and maybe soon to be a dead FY if he's not careful as well. KP, they bring in a couple more now, able to find the net. The follow-up stun is going to be there as well. Witch Doctor ultimate down, the Kraken Shell. They wait for the Kraken Shell to proc before they go for the stun. It's still not enough though. And now Mugi, he shows up also, gets the Maledict on him. X-Nova starting to fall down. He does get caught in the trees, but it's for the life of Mugi. So LGD make it work yet again.
Yeah, Newbie is really giving away way too many free kills and free pickoffs. They got to recognize that they win by just outlasting LGD. And what they're doing right now isn't really helping their cause. With all of these extra kills they're giving away, that Roshan is going to be free pickings for LGD. And that will mean pretty much all the outer tier 2s is going to get taken as well.
And I mean, you're just looking around the map right now, and everywhere you look, the lanes are pushing in into Newbie's side of the map. The towers are falling, and it's incredibly difficult. If Omni Knight's not careful, he doesn't have mana right now for GA, and Ame is just running at this guy. They already take down Kaka, looking for more. They're up here on the top lane, also able to do some damage. It looks like they are going to stop the chase for Faith, as LGD just running over Newbie at this early stage.
Yes, they are.
They're taking 3 towers simultaneously across the map. All of their heroes are stronger than Newbie right now.
I mean, this is what happens when you essentially win all 3 lanes, right? You can make an argument that Enigma didn't really win his lanes, but Enigma got his like a 9-minute Midas, so I count that as a win. The Mirana was able to walk around and get a bunch of kills unmolested. And of course, Lycan, we've seen him rotating mid, we see him pushing towers, so at this caliber of play, when you win all 3 lanes, you should just be coasting through, and that's exactly what LGD is doing.
5 to 15, 6,000 gold lead right now for LGD. And Newbie traditionally been able to do, quite well within China. It's sort of a tough situation here. And
well, Newbie also traditionally drops game 1,
right.
So I don't know.
That's a good point.
If we want to count Newbie out just yet.
But it's certainly looking like it's LGD in the driver's seat right now. KP picks up a Blink Dagger.
Ooh, this is quite different. Tidehunter these days don't really pick up the blink. I think they really recognize how desperate of a situation they are, and they need to be actually aggressively initiating for some fights.
Oh, this is a little bit scary. If LGD go into this, they don't know about the Blink Dagger for KP. They could go for a big play. Chalice looking for an opening as well. There's a Enigma there. They get to sleep. They caught him out. They're all going to get hit with the black hole. On to 3 of them. There's no way to break this one. The damage, the follow-up, it might be enough. The Ravage to turn it. It only connects onto 1, though, and Chalice, they don't have vision right here. They don't see anybody at all. Maybe chasing SC, trying to run. He is done, though, as they catch out and kill off the Medusa, most likely. Maybe trying to get out of there. KP is going to fall, and SC goes down as well. 4 dead. And Faith, the last one left alive, they got completely owned.
Look at bottom. They're getting Raxes already. Lycan has not even joined the fight. The bottom. Ame says, yeah, my team could 4v5. Let me just pop Necrobook.
This game
get a Rax.
is feeling close to over, honestly. At 19 minutes, they take a Rax, they take 11,000 net worth lead. If they don't buy back on heroes, they're going to lose probably another set of Rax.
I mean, who are they going to buy back that actually will affect the fight, right? Tidehunter doesn't even have Ravage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they just lost a set of Rax. They will lose all of the outer tier 2. LGD, if they're smart about it, they'll go back and get the Roshan. Yeah, there's no need to pressure. There's no need to go risk anything right now. They could get all the shrines, wait for cooldown, and then just look for another fight.
This is such a difficult game right now for LGD. 13,000 net worth lead at 19 minutes in. And the scary thing is it doesn't really feel like Medusa is close to anywhere dealing damage she needs to.
Not. She needs another 15 minutes or so before anything could happen with her.
Glorified range creep right now. And, well, they're going to run over towards the jungle. And Necrobook level 3 on Lycan. He's getting close to an AC. They don't have Black Hole, which is some small solace for Newbie.
Now, there is 2 silver lining I see from the situation at hand. Hold that thought here. Ame.
Well, they got to lift up. They're able to steal one more if they want to. KP chasing. They spot out Chaos. They decide to turn back around. They're only sending in the summons and almost able to take down Kako just with that.
All right, so silver lining number 1 was that during the last fight, SCCC was able to get the kill on Mirana before he died. And Mirana had like a huge, like a 6-kill streak at that point. So there was quite a bit of gold going to SCCC's pocket before he died. Point number 2 is that, you know, all those Song into Black Hole setup, it's going to be much harder to find them when you're defending the base in the side of Newbie, right? Because all of those Song setup, it was FY coming out of awkward angles that it was hard to prepare for. When you're just, you know, in your base and you see them coming, it's going to be much harder for LGD to find those setup.
Yeah, definitely. The flip side of that is that it also means that
you're in the base.
Exactly.
You're not farming.
It's a tough game. Very, very hard game right now for Newbie. And, well, they're still getting extra vision with the Wolves, scouting all around the map, and able to stand on their cliffs. There's a scan right now by the Radiant, anticipating a Roshan take, and they might be starting to move this direction now. They expect that Rosh is being taken. Oh, and they see SC and they see Mugi. This wraparound is going to be tremendous. Smoke breaks. Now they realize that there's heroes over here. Chalice is in the area as well. They pop the dust.
If they get Song here.
Oh, they might end up just going down. Mugi is going to get repelled. That keeps him alive for the moment. With Shark ultimate down.
He's coming in from the south side.
Kaka, he's just dead. And KP in no man's land. They're going to find him yet again. Song on to 3.
We've seen this already.
Black Hole. It's on to almost everybody. Faith, he does get the Guardian Angel off Mugi. They turn it around with the Ravage. It's a nice play as well. The BKB's out from Chalice, and X-Nova's starting to fall. But meanwhile, you look at the Wolf, Big Bag Wolf hitting the buildings off to the side, and also Newbie. They can't even win the fight over there in the mid lane. They can't stay onto anybody. Just don't have any lockdown. KP, he's going to turn here onto Ame, but the rest of LGD is walking into range, and KP is dead outside of the base. This is a complete and utter dismantling.
I think this is a very poor showing of Newbie. Every time, the Song into Black Hole, it's one of those things that you expect to see maybe once or twice in a game. But every time they have done it, they have gone three blend back low, right? This is absolutely insane. We haven't seen any Rubik steal. The positioning of Newbie has just been horrendous this game. And that's just one of the basic fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Of playing good Dota. So.
I mean, it's one of those things, too, where Newbie, this isn't like the normal play from them at all. They're known for their team fight prowess. That's the thing that sometimes defines this roster. And, you know, call it what you will. They had a day off where LGD played, they played some series. Going into game number 2, what do you really say to this roster? What do you think needs to be the big defining things to get changed?
I say the draft, because I felt like Newbie, you know, we talked about the strong opening of Omni Razor.
Right.
That got countered pretty hard, because what the result was, we saw the Omni being forced to a position 5, which is okay in the laning stage.
Right.
But then what did Omni do in the mid game?
Not a whole lot, yeah.
Not a whole lot.
I mean, he Guardian Angeled when it was a Black Hole onto 3, and then they had the Purge for
I mean, that's all he could do, right? So, you can't really fault Faith too much, apart from the drafting. So, I felt like, you know, Omni Razor, strong opening, but you got to do something with it. And I felt like LGD did the research. They countered that opening very hard, and the result was what we saw.
Yeah, and that's the thing to keep in mind, too. This is a classic Newbie opening that they did at multiple tournaments previously, and it kind of got figured out after a while. And LGD come up with a good answer to it. You know, going into game number 2, it does feel like maybe mental things, the positioning that you were talking about, the actual decisions in game are maybe of the utmost importance to get changed. But
one thing I do have to add before we pass it is that, you know, they're always like, oh, Enigma counters, or sorry, Rubik counters Enigma, right? Like, that's just one of the age-old truth of Dota. And it's good to see in a game played out that sometimes those hard and fast rules just don't apply when you could just play around it. And that's what we saw here. So Enigma beating his age-old nemesis, Rubik.
That's good to see.
Pretty fun to watch, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for game number 1. We're going to send it back to the panel, see what they thought about that one in our finals day series number 1.